Hello. I mentioned in another video that I was going to show you the performance of this little Lowe's Kobalt saw. I said that they are fantastic cutters for an $11 or $12 saw if you file the teeth and set the teeth properly. Now the ideal saw would be one of this type, would be one that you could rip with, you could cross cut with, you could dovetail with, you could cut your tenons, you pick up one saw and get the job done. That would be ideal, wouldn't it? So these kinds of saws are primarily for miter box cuts. So they're a combination of a miter and cross cut. So what do they do? You know, they're not good at anything half the time. And this saw, properly set and properly filed, I'll show you what it can do in a piece of 1-inch oak. I've made some test cuts. I have a line that's 3/4 of an inch deep. We'll count the strokes and then we'll look at the thickness of the cuts. I've already done some cuts with both saws, and I'm going to tell you right now, this saw will outcut what I know and have already claimed to be the best $30 or less saw you can buy. This is a throwaway. It's a Vaughan Bear saw, the Vaughan Bushnell brand, BS250. I'm going to tell you this is one of the finest saws you can buy for under $30. And it's better than some that cost more than $30. If you get up into the Guyacuchos in the $70 range, fine. But this saw is made in Japan. If you buy a saw of this type, make sure it is made in Japan, because they're the ones that know how to make it. And this is a fantastic saw with a very thin plate, cuts on the pull stroke. I should measure it for you. I think it's 25 thousandths or 27 thousandths of an inch. This will leave a kerf of about 30 thousandths of an inch. They're almost indiscernibly different. There's almost no difference. This cut will leave a slight little bit of exit tear out, but so will this one. It's just on the opposite side, so you have to think about what you're doing and dovetailing and so forth. But let's make some cuts, and you tell me whether it looks like it's cutting. I'll make a starter cut like that, which you have to do with any saw, and then we'll count the strokes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I'm to the line. With a beautiful cut, very little exit tear out on the rip side, certainly negligible for any kind of work you would do on a rip cut. Let's put the Vaughan in there, and I'm banking on the fact that you'll trust me when I say this is a fantastic cutting saw, a very efficient saw. Plus, I have the advantage of a rip side and a crosscut side, so I have a dedicated ripping set of teeth here. They're going to be as efficient as it gets. So let's take a test cut with it. We'll do the starter cut. Now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I'm to the line or just below the line. So virtually the same performance in the two saws. Arguably this was another stroke or two more. Now, is it perfectly clean on this side? Yes. Is there a little tear out here? Yes. Negligible though. Both saws, I'm saying, are negligible in regards to tear out. So if you want a saw that you can tenon with, 1-inch thick oak, properly set teeth, properly filed, this saw is a fantastic cutter. Now let's try a cross cut, because we have a two-sided saw here, so we have dedicated cross-cut teeth. We know they're going to cut good. I'll go down about 3/4 of an inch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, That gives me about 3/4 of an inch, a little bit of tear out on my side, perfectly clean on this side. Let's try this one. Starter cut. Oh, my piece is wanting to crack. I'll lower it a little bit. I picked a scrap piece. Alright, starter cut. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm probably a little low even. 5 probably got me equal. Clean on my side. Little bit of tear out here. But if you're laying out tenons, you're going to have a knife wall anyway. This is probably negligible. But there is a hair bit of tear out. Now, if you back this cut up, there's no tear out. That's why I set up in the other vise here a homemade poor man's miter box. They're the best miter box you can make. Lay out very careful knife lines, 45 and 90s, and make knife walls. You put a knife line, put your chisel in, create the recess, flick away the waste, and then saw very carefully to your knife lines and create a perfect set of miters. If you do that, this is just 2 boards. One is screwed to the other. You can glue it, whatever. These are out of 2 pieces of 2x. But anyhow, you can make great miters with this setup. And the tear out goes away because it's backed up. There's a perfect 45-degree miter. The only way that would be any more perfect is to put it in the shooting board and make a couple licks with a hand plane. We'll make the mating miter here. These make a perfect miter, and that's without using the shooting board. And are they 90? They are absolutely 90. They are perfectly 90 degrees. So not only is it a good fitting joint, it is in fact a 90-degree joint. So you could glue and spline that right now, and it would be cabinet grade work in a rough piece of wood that isn't planed or anything else. And that just shows you that this is a great tool, and it works with the pull saw. So you can put it in here and pull this way. Pull against the work because this cuts on the pull stroke, and there won't be any tear out because of your fence. And you get an excellent clean cut. I'm just saying that if these are available in your area or you order them on Amazon, 25 to 30 bucks. Great buy, great saw, great multi-use saw, great tool to have and buy. If you want to get into the activity of filing teeth and setting teeth, and you want a saw that will basically go on for years and years and years for half the price of this, less than half the price of this, and go on for years and years and years because you can sharpen it, whereas this will get dull or the teeth will break, and you're going to pitch this blade and put another blade in, and the blade's 20 bucks, the replacement blade. So $11 or $25, $30, and this will outlast 2 or 3 of these. So you have effectively you know, $70–80 worth of saw here for 12 bucks. To me, that's well worth it. And I'm telling you, Paul Sellers says he can do one in 4 minutes. I can't do them that fast, but I would say I could do this saw in 10 or 12 minutes. And is that a hardship? Not for me, not when it saves me. You know, I'll spend 10–15 minutes to save 25 bucks. And along with that, I can change this and put more set in the teeth and make this a crosscut saw that probably won't have the tear out if I know I'm going to crosscut. So those are some things to think about, and I just want to try to give you a demonstration of why I think this is a worthwhile tool. Thank you for watching.